Oh, hey.
Is it on?
It's on. I think it's on.
It looks like it's on now.
It's on, but if the light is
Okay.
red, why is the light red, I
I
wonder?
don't know, but that's always scary whenever you see something
Yeah,
that's
red lights
light
usually
and
be
red.
bad, like
Like, don't touch
bad.
the red button.
Anyways, good morning, everybody. This is Gavin, and
Elena.
we are still arguing about Elena's name. The other day, Gene was like, "Is it Elena or Elena?" I was like, "I think
Did
it's
y'all
Elena."
really?
Yeah, we had this conversation the other day.
I respond to anything at this point, so like it's fine.
I'm trying to get about Elena. So yeah, we still have a conversation. Anyways, good morning from the Bridge Live. We are here talking to you guys this morning. Couple of fun Bridge announcements. We have a new program that started last weekend called The Prophetic Voice of Our Time with
Christina Soso.
Good, you remember the name. I was like,
Christina
I remember
Soso.
So. And it's on at Fridays at 5 and Sunday mornings at 10:30. So we started, it's a pretty good little half-hour show, kind of energetic and exciting. Plus, we're lining up another weekday live program from 3 to 4, I think, called MoneyWise Live. It's a call-in financial Christian talk show about finances and money. So that's going to be kind of exciting. We just don't know exactly when.
To be determined.
To be determined. So if you want to find out lots of fun things about like this, Elena, what do we send out?
We have a newsletter. So we sent one out, I guess it was late November was the last one, so we're going to send one out shortly. We're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be like one every day, so like don't worry about that. I'm not about that life.
We don't want to send it out every day?
Oh my gosh, that's like the worst. People send one out or multiple times a day, I'm like, who has the time?
Well,
usually that's retail though, so it's fine. Because sometimes they'll send me coupons. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. No, but we have a newsletter and there's a lot of fun information. There'll be like contests in there, so we have one coming up for Valentine's Day. So there'll be all that information and everything. So it'll be all your bridge info just in one resource. So it's very beneficial. So you haven't signed up for the newsletter, you should, because I'm working hard on it. And then if you don't, that makes me really
she
sad.
does work really hard on it, and it's quite interesting because we do have a Valentine's Day contest coming up.
Yeah.
We're giving away.
It's a themed one too.
It's a very good themed one, and we're not really sure how everyone's going to take it, but
we can change it. I just like these.
No, we like this idea because we're trying to be more interactive with you guys, and so we're giving away $800 gift certificates to the Schlitterbahn Resort in South Padre, which is a great getaway place to go.
Super fun.
But you have to sing a love song and make a video about it. Could be
sing,
karaoke,
lip sync, dance, have a routine.
Do whatever you want. Be you, be your family, whatever you want. Maybe you want to recite some spoken word poetry or something. We just, since it's Valentine's Day, we want to celebrate love. So we thought, let's make them sing. So you're going to get more information about this. And next week, we're actually going to, sing so you guys can see what it'll be like because the contest comes up at the end of the month. She's laughing. I'm like...
It'll be fun. We'll have fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're going to let all of our viewers vote on the website on the winners. And we have 3 prizes to give away. And so it's going to be kind of fun. I'm really excited. And also, we're working on this new app because all of our apps have been kind of weird. I know it's kind of confusing at this point in time, but... I'm meeting with a developer today, actually, and we're going to talk about this new structure because there's things like we want to make sure you get the program schedule and the events calendars that's not working in the app that we have now very well. Because you'll notice if you click schedule, it takes you outside, things like that. So we're trying to simplify it for you. Plus, you'll be able to send us videos and messages and text through this app. So you could send us a
fingers
quick...
crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So
perfectly.
We're talking and trying to get our app situation 100% developed. So
in any event, he's been really fancy with the app, and the contest is going to be really fun and a recap. Not a professional, like, singing thing, so don't get nervous.
We just want to have fun.
Because, like, that would be my thing. I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's so terrifying. But it's for fun. Like, just be goofy. Like,
it's about just having fun and celebrating the people you love, you know? Because I was thinking everyone's favorite thing is, I don't care what it is, they love watching, like, the opening shows of, like, American Idol or The Voice, where
literally
it's all the tryouts.
Only thing I liked was the auditions. I never keep up with the rest of it.
Because it's just fun to watch. Yeah, and so we're figuring for $800, which will probably get you a whole weekend in South Padre.
Depending on the weekend, but yeah.
Yeah.
Look up, like, the days and stuff, because, like, if you don't want to be around, like, a lot of people, you want to go try to, like, just go where there's not a lot of people at Schlitterbahn. I would say go kind of more so in, like, whatever off-season you can.
It's like you could either go to deep-sea fishing, go to the beach, but you'd have a place to stay that's really nice.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. So today we're going to talk about our fun topic of growing up Christian, because I keep reading these articles about how kids are falling away from the church, and they find
Yeah.
it like this, it's a tragedy, they keep saying.
Yeah.
I don't really see it that way. And that's simply because we were both raised very differently. So I want to start with you, Elena.
Okay.
What was your family like growing up?
So I grew up in a Christian home. I've been at the same church since I was 5, and I love it. My mom was saved when she was 26. My dad actually shared the gospel with her, and then my dad grew up in a Christian home, and my great-grandparents on my dad's side actually started several of the churches in East Austin. And so I just come from a very strong Christian background. My family has always been just a very intricate part of my walk with the Lord, and just encouraging me in that, and just being raised going to Awana and church, and just having a love for serving in the church and going to church. At times it has its pros and cons. I mean, ultimately, I think it's just been like a huge blessing for me, and just the people that are around me and my family. But of course, there are there are always times where it just gets a little challenging, because if you like mess up or whatever, you feel like you're disappointing a lot of people, I feel like. And that might just actually be my personality, because I'm just like kind of that person where like if I screw up, I feel like I've disappointed people, or like I get really down on myself. But that's something that I really had to work through. That might be a whole other thing though.
So you grew up in a very strong Christian family.
Yes.
They were very involved.
Yes.
I was the exact opposite. I was the house of heathens, full of drugs and alcohol, and raised by wolves. Very crazy at my house. And my neighbors would take me to church, and they would take me to Baptist church every Sunday. And honestly, I really never got a lot of that as a kid. But I got it, but I didn't always agree with it.
Right.
So I think I think the way you're raised has a very strong inclination, but when I see things about these other strong Christian families whose kids are falling away from the church because maybe, like you said, they're afraid of disappointing people, I look at it this way, because I've had plenty of experiences that prove there is a God, and I've had plenty of experiences that prove that there's a lot of black and white and gray areas in everything. It's not strictly one way or the other. There's been a lot of life experiences I've had that prove that, yes, there's something up there, but maybe it's not as structured as everybody wants it to be. So I take my walk very differently than you would take your walk, or Dave takes his walk, or G takes his walk. I just find it important that everybody takes that walk. So I'm wondering, have you never thought, man, this is just too much?
Have I thought that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like in every situation, I feel like people probably do that, especially a lot of people a lot of my friends growing up came in, pretty, Christian homes. Like I grew up, like a lot of my best friends just were in the church.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like at some point in each of our lives, we kind of felt that way. I think we felt like this is a lot to handle, and like sometimes you just like doubt, and there'll always be those things. But I feel like everyone kind of has that moment at least once in their lives. I think just because it's just, the Lord in general is just so overwhelming, and it's like just mysterious, and you just can't wrap your head around Him. And so I feel like that alone is just like, wow, this is a lot to handle. So I feel like growing up in the church and having a lot of eyes just looking on you at all times, I feel like that alone gets like a lot, I feel like.
See, I think that might be what a lot of people feel, because I would have a problem with what the pastor was preaching sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like one time he was talking about, Adam and Eve and people, and he had a whiteboard, and he drew these little cliffs with a space in the middle, and he drew us as stick figures. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But my problem.
So finish it.
So it's the two ledges, and there's God over here and people over here, and he draws the crucifix in the middle as the bridge that's Jesus' sacrifice, so we get over there because the catch has with sin. But we have science that helps prove that there is evolution. So I was watching this dude draw stick figures. I was like, I don't know if that's exactly correct. I was like 8, right? So that's when I knew I was going to start having a lot of questions. I was baptized. I was everything. But I went to a very strict Baptist church. And I didn't really agree with a lot of things. And I watched kids just stop going. Mm-hmm. And, I went with my neighbors. Every Sunday we would go. And part of me was, I'm going because I'm getting out of my house. And the other part was, I'm going to try to learn something about this because it's not in my house.
Right.
But then as I grew up, I started, meeting people from other faiths. I had a friend who was Mormon who decided he didn't want to be Mormon anymore, and they cut him off. His whole family cut him off.
Yeah.
I had people who were very devout, believed in things, and they'd experienced the biggest tragedy, and they wouldn't know what to do. They would just, it's something's happening, God. It's God's purpose. Well, I think God has a purpose, but it's not to make you suffer as much. And then everyone looks at, then there's people who swear the galaxy's 5,000 years old, but we have science that proves it's older. And they're just like, no, it's faith thing. Well, why would God want to test your faith and believing him when he's given you, he gave us science for a reason, So I have all these experiences in life that prove yes, but it's not black and white. There's a big gray area in the middle. And that's just from life experiences, You're like half the age I am, so you haven't had all these life experiences yet. But when Brianna was here, Brianna always had these great testimonial things of things that would happen. And we would talk. We actually talked about it at Faith Explorations, and we had lots of fun with it. But I'm wondering the major difference between these days and, let's say, the Leave It to Beaver days. Because they wouldn't have left the church back then.
Right.
But I guess it's because life just expected you to do it. We weren't exactly as advanced as we are now. I don't know. I don't understand why. You're a prime example. You were raised in a great faith home, and you're still devout and believing it. You're still involved in it. You didn't just up and run away.
Yeah.
What makes someone just up and run away, do you think?
I think, for one, it's just bad experiences. I think, people in the church are still human beings. I feel like a lot of people who don't know much about, Christianity or any religion for that matter, I think that some people who maybe just don't know, just kind of assume, they think they're perfect, they don't, whatever. And then if they feel judged or anything, I feel like that's just, a huge indicator. Because I feel like when I visited churches before, or I've gone somewhere else, or even in my home church at times, I feel very uncomfortable sometimes. But for me, I try not to let that stop me. But for some people, it's just that really affects them, and that might be part of it.
Maybe they're already, if that's affected them, then they're already having questions ahead of time.
Yeah, I think there's probably a deeper thing to that, but I feel like that's a lot of what I hear, but I always think that there's definitely something more to it than that. Because I'm if you feel like you're being judged and you're going to your favorite retail store, it's probably not going to stop you from shopping there. I
don't know. If I go someplace and they're looking with a judgy eye, I'm leaving. I'm not giving them my money.
Well, I guess it depends on your personality.
I have a mean
it's just
personality.
that one worker. It's not like it's the owner that's doing it. So in my head, I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird.
So you would walk into a store and they'd be like, oh, here she comes again. And you'd just be like, whatever, I'm buying my shirt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be giving them my money.
Well, I'm not giving them my money.
Yeah, you are. Your money goes to pay them.
It's okay. I'll look better than them in that outfit.
So the truth comes out.
I guess it just depends. My sister, she went to a restaurant, and the lady, she ordered because she was in the drive-thru, and the lady literally was like, okay, fatty. And my sister was like, what the heck? And she's like, a twig. The lady had no idea. Who knows, the circumstances it could have been, but she still goes there.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. So, let us know in the comments what your opinion is on the youth that leave Christianity in waves. What could be causing it? And stay tuned for more from The Bridge. We've got all sorts of fun things. Like we said, contests coming up. We've got new shows. You can hit us up on the website, thebridgeaustin.com. You can listen on FM 101.1. She's like, did you want me to talk?
I was just at first I was like, did you forget what it was?
No, we had a problem with Janet Partial last night because when 5 o'clock hit, we weren't getting our satellite feed. So I had to play a backup show, and the only show they had for backup was last Fridays. So I had to get all the segments and put them into play, and now I'm trying to figure out what happened to Janet Partial. So when you hear weird things on the radio, it's usually I'm back here trying to figure out what's going on because it doesn't always run perfect. Yeah, so we have a lot of Janet Partial fans. Just want to let you know that's what happened last night was craziness. It just didn't. It wasn't happening. I don't know why it wasn't happening. But we're going to figure it out. Any last words?
I wish these videos were longer because it's always fun.
Well, we were working on shirts and a backdrop and other things. So I'm doing today actually is designing the backdrop.
I need hair and makeup too, so.
Oh, please. I'll just come in looking like this. Let's go.
I'm just kidding. I'm not that much of a diva.
As she says, I look better than doing these clothes.
I don't know. Maybe I'll like walk in there looking all good and be like, listen, I don't care what you have to say about me. I'm just gonna do me.
That's the biggest thing at the end of the day. You
See,
just do
I'm
you.
like, if they're coming on to me about something or have back on something, like there's something going on with them to where they're trying to make themselves feel better. So like obviously it goes deeper.
Or some
than,
people
like,
are just born mean.
True, but you should still kill them with kindness. That's what I try to do. It's hard some days, but I try my best to just let it go. Just pray for them, say, Lord, help out this person. I don't know what's going on.
God's
Give me
like,
lots of patience.
I ain't got time for that one. She's way too mean. I'll get to her later. She's on the list.
You're like, don't worry, I'm working on it, alright?
Just, hold on to it. I'm up here celebrating New Year's Eve. No. Alright, so we'll be back with you guys next week with some more fun, and we're going to demonstrate our singing skills as we sing love songs to show you about this contest coming. Whatever you want.
Oh my gosh, there's so many options. Can it be from the 80s?
I don't care what it's from. We're just going to demonstrate what it's going to be like to have to do. She's so excited.
I just like picking songs. I just like songs.
She likes picking songs, but singing is a whole other story. She'll be like,
sing, but I don't know. I sing like on the praise team at church sometimes, but for some reason that's like more comfortable than it would be like right now.
Oh,
I missed it really. I don't know.
No one's judging you here.
Oh no.
No
it's
one.
Okay, just shake it off.
No one's judging you here.
No, we don't care about you.
We know.
We don't care what you do.
So, maybe every show we shall do a Dave update. Dave is working. So
it's literally gonna be every
he's
time.
back in his office
like, oh,
on the
computer. We'll be like, he's working.
So that's your Dave update for the week. Dave's working on the computer in his office.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's it.
Expect the same update next week.
Well, we don't know. Maybe next week he'll be watching us. We need a little Dave update.
We used to have a camera on him at all times.
Because this early in the morning, there's just the three of us here. Yeah. Most people don't get here till 10 or later. But I do want to bring on some of the other people from time to time, and I would love to get Evelyn on here to talk with us about stuff.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
She would show up, and we'd have to do it in the afternoon. She would just go to town. And some of the other people, like, we've got Jonathan Sines, we've got Larry Leonard Schmidt.
Yeah.
We've got Jonathan Sines, Larry Leonard Schmidt, and Evelyn. Oh, and the Max Life Doctors, but they're always in a big rush.
Got things to do.
Yeah, they're it's busy. Like wrangling children when they come in sometimes, because all four of them is like, let's go. And they're all talking, let's go. It's fun. I love their show, though. It's really informative. And I've loved Love Talk since I've started. Evelyn is the nicest woman on the face of the planet.
And if y'all could see what she wears, she is always looking so good.
She is always on point.
She's like head to toe, put together. Like
her purse matches her shoes and her outfit. Gosh. Like, it's amazing. I was like, where do you keep all these clothes?
No, I was like, can I go into?
Because you will very rarely see her in the same thing twice.
I've never seen the same thing.
I have a couple times.
Granted, it's only been a couple months since I've been here, but still.
But I've dealt with her since we were over at the Word, and I love Evelyn to death. I love Carrie. I love Kathy. I love the whole Love Talk ladies. I mean, that's one of my highlights of the week. Is Evelyn comes in and
they're all so nice.
She brought a Tootsie Roll once, like when we were over there, and I was like, I love Tootsie Roll, so she brings me a Tootsie Roll every week.
She really?
She does. That's why there's a bunch of them back there, because I don't get to them all, and they're there for people to have. And so one time we talked about, I have a friend whose aunt works at the Tootsie Roll factory, so she always sends my friend the new flavors. So she started looking for new flavors. She said, here's a new flavor. She got me a pomegranate one. I was like, yeah, I love pomegranate. Next week she goes, here's a new flavor. It's another pomegranate one. I'm like, yes.
Were they good?
They're good. They're back. I think there's one back there if you want one.
I don't know. I don't like trying a lot of new things. I'll try
Life is full of new things. Every day is a new adventure.
Depends on the day whether or not I'm that adventurous to try new Tootsie Rolls.
It's a Tuesday. Tuesdays are the worst day of the week, but we're not going to get into that today because we're out of time. Really? Okay, Tuesday is the worst day of the week because everyone dreads Monday. But Monday comes and goes. Everyone loves Wednesday because the week is half over. And Thursday and Friday may as well not even exist because they go by in a flash. Tuesday, however, is the limbo day. You are stuck in Tuesday forever because it drags on. It's not a Monday and it's not a Wednesday. Tuesday is the worst day of the week.
Is that why we should start doing our shows on Tuesdays so people have something to look forward to?
Yes. We should probably do this on Tuesdays from now on.
See? Tag team.
Problem solved. Okay, so that's it. We will see you guys next Tuesday with more from the Bridge Live.
Back to you.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.